Communication is the most important aspect for the majority of us in our everyday lives. It is what allows us to interact with others. Without the ability to communicate, we would not be able to perform tasks that we do on the daily. For example, if you go to a coffee shop before work every day, this involves verbal communication. When you go through a drive-thru, you are telling the worker exactly what type of coffee you want and what size you want. If you are not able to translate the information from you to the worker with verbal communication, they will not be able to give you exactly what you need. In this speech, I will be discussing what I have learned in connection to the importance of all types of communication, communication in different cultures, and lastly, how this class has helped me improve my communication skills as a whole. Verbal and nonverbal communication are the two aspects that most people think of when it comes to communication. Most people also believe that we use verbal communication more than any type of communication. What I have learned is this is actually incorrect, and we use nonverbal communication more than any other type of communication. For example, if you are happy or sad, this can be seen with nonverbal communication. When you are happy, you have your chest up and you have a smile on your face, which can be seen by many. When you are sad, your shoulders often droop down and you look disinterested. Another great example of the importance of nonverbal communication is when you're an infant. When you're an infant, you rely on crying to alert your parents that you need something. Whether you're in pain or you're hungry, crying allows your parents to know that they need to give you something. If we did not have the ability as infants to cry and give that nonverbal cue, it would be very difficult to survive, as we would never be able to tell anyone when we needed something. Communication in different cultures is also a very important aspect. Many cultures can interpret different ideas in many different ways. I learned this best when I was in Italy with my family. One day we were driving on the highway and there were two cars in the passing lane. The car in front was going slightly slower than the car in behind. As the car in behind caught up to the car in front, it began to honk continuously and tailgate very closely. From me and my family's point of view, this was very rude of the individual driving the car behind the car going a little bit slower. Yet, later that night when we discussed the situation with our cousins, they told us the opposite of what we thought. They told us that the car going in front slower was actually the car being disrespectful and rude by not moving over, going that slow in the passing lane. Being from Canada, me, my family, and my friends would not believe that the necessary actions were taken by the car in behind in honking and driving slow closely behind. Yet, I learned in this situation that cultural differences is something that we must be aware of. This course has taught me also how to utilize all aspects of communication. Nonverbal communication, verbal communication, and even social media are all types of communication in which we take in information or give out information. I also learned that in social media and media type of communication, we have to be careful with what we take. For example, on Twitter, if somebody gives a type of information, we have to make sure that that is valid information so that we don't go out and start giving out the information that we learned, not knowing that it is actually incorrect and causing rumors. All in all, communication is the base of everything that we do. It allows us to send and receive information, both verbally and non-verbally. In today's day and age, technology is used by mostly everybody, and because of that, I feel that the ability to communicate well has greatly diminished. In our society, I think it is so important that we continue to improve our ability to verbally communicate well so that we continue to grow our society as one.